There are a lot number of industrial organizations, dealing in construction, oil and gas, chemical plants, and other energy companies. All these companies hire security staff that is from civil securities. Most of these security staff are not having working experience with industrial companies. Most of the security staff are assigned duties on the main entrance of the gate of the premises. They focus only on stopping the unauthorized persons to enter the building or organization. Security personnel is a great asset to the organization, but they are being used at 50% of their capability. We shall focus on the fact that this security personnel can contribute the other 50% by taking care of safety. It is said that 50% of the hazards in the workplace enter through the main gate. Therefore, these hazards could be controlled during security checks at the gate. This way, the security can support the overall safety performance of the company, to achieve effective control of hazards on the gate and to render another supportive role by the security. Security staff shall have a fair knowledge, how they can control hazards and what are other potential areas where they can support to the HSE department. Security and safety are like two sides of one coin. Unsecured condition or action can become a safety incident if not controlled, and a safety incident may become a security issue if not taken care of timely. Both these functions must be performed with the coordination of each other. That is why the Security and Safety Department shall work together for the common goal. That is why it is very important that each security personnel, and especially who are doing duties on industrial or energy company, must have a fair knowledge about the hazards and their consequence so that they perform their duties effectively. Those that own and operate industrial facilities, especially critical infrastructures, must understand the meaning and importance of safety and security relative to their operations. This course has been prepared for those security guards, officers, or supervisors who are performing their duties to control access at industrial sites. This course means to train the security guards or security officers who are assigned duties to control the access gates. By doing this course, they will know the hazards that can enter the workplace unchecked. They can have better effective control of the hazards on the gate before entering, and they can contribute a lot in the general safety of the workplace. Security guards are supposed to work under the applicable procedure of the company. All organizations' way of working is different, therefore security guards shall go through the internal awareness about the procedure of the organization, and they must work under the limits of the role given by the organization. What is security? The condition of being free from harm or risk, or the quality or state of being free from danger, or measures taken to guard against espionage or sabotage, crime, attack or escape, and this is generally the definition we are using when we refer to industrial security. What is safety? The condition of being free from harm or risk. A place that is free from accidents or ill health is called a safe place. Security. Safety. Weak security increases risk, creates poor safety. So safety and security are directly proportional. But both are inversely proportional to risk. Understanding the relationship between safety and security is key for the overall safety of the workplace. Another reason for the interaction of security and safety is due to a growing recognition of the many similarities in both. There are a lot of benefits and gains to have interactions between security and safety. By addressing both safety and security fundamentally from the beginning, assets owner will get compounded benefits right from the entry gate of the organization. There are many potential hazards, unsafe conditions which can enter plant if security is not effective. Security need to be fully aware of these hazards entering into plant. Poorly uncontrolled hazards may get access to the work. Weak security increases risk, creates a poor safety. So safety and security are directly proportional. But both are inversely proportional to risk. Understanding the relationship between safety and security is key for the overall safety of the workplace and result in an accident. This objective can only be achieved if security controllers are fully aware of the hazards entering through the access point of the plant. This course is exclusively for those security guards who are working in industrial installation, especially high-risk industries such as oil and gas. It focuses how to stop, observe and prevent the hazards. Where is the problem? The security staff assigned on the industrial sites, such as construction companies, oil and gas facilities and chemical manufacturing plant and even in buildings, are very less or nothing knows about the safety aspect of their jobs. They are not aware of what they can contribute in the overall safe operation of the business, how they can support. Security guards are the first line of defense against the safety incidents. Security and safety has very thin line between each other. A small security breach may become a very big safety incident, how they can support. Therefore, security guards shall have at least basic knowledge that the poor security controls may lead to the safety problems in the workplace. When the security guard do his duty, he must know the fact that how security and safety are related, how they can support. For example, a spark-producing equipment, a hazardous chemical passes through the security check which may become a safety issue later. If these hazardous items could have stopped during the security checks, a great number of safety incidents can be reduced. Security guards may provide the safety induction on the security office before entering to the main working area, how they can support. Good security sense is a complement to an enhanced safety performance of the workplace. Security personnel can contribute a lot to safety of the workplace. It is said that 50% of the hazards can be controlled at the entrance gate of the workplace and remaining 50% can be taken care inside the gate with good safety implementation, how they can support. The safety-conscious security personnel are great assets for the organization and valuable partner of HSE department. That is the reason some companies keep the HSE and security department under one manager. If they are not under one management even, then they must work with good cooperation in day-to-day operation of the HSE mode of working. Security manager, supervisor reporting to HSE manager. Security manager or supervisor is independently reporting to CEO or any other authority. In Mode 1, HSE will control the security also and they can integrate with them easily. In Mode 2, HSE and security manager are needed to have close cooperation and working relationship for integration security and safety mode of working. In either mode of working, security can support the safety department under the direction and role assigned to security staff to support the safety of the workplace. Following are the ways how the security staff can render their services for the safety department. What security can do for safety. Access control including personnel and materials and equipment. Control of hazards to enter in industrial site. Fire safety, inspections and security rounds. Coordination in emergency response, access control. Know the general procedure of access allowed or declined. Act to control the access of personnel or equipment as per procedure laid out by the company. Normally following procedures are in place for access control. Do not allow to enter the ignition sources such as electronic gadgets, cigarette smoking material and lighters or matches. If applicable in the procedure, do not allow the workers, employees without approved clothings, approved coveralls such as Nomex or fireproof material. If applicable, do not allow the workers without mandatory PPE, such as hard hats, safety shoes, safety glasses. If applicable, do not allow the workers who has not been safety inducted, without safety induction card or sticker. Personal cameras, mobile phones, computers and tabs are not allowed in general. If anyone has special approval of above items for the sake of business use, they can be allowed under a procedure approved by the authorized person. Unauthorized workers are not allowed in the workplace as a rule. Visitors invited, uninvited shall be registered and guided as per the procedure. Do not leave them stray or unattended. Only authorized vehicles are allowed in the workplace. They shall be registered, given passes and logged. If roll has been given to the security personnel, vehicles shall be safety checked and allowed inside. Some workplaces' security role is to give the safety induction to the newcomers and visitor. In this case, give the standard safety induction accepted by the HSE followed by access to workplace. Do not allow to enter any unsafe tools, equipment, hazardous materials that can compromise the safety. Hazard identification. Hazards are all those locations, personnel, activities, substances, chemical and biohazards, equipment and worker behaviors, unskilled or unsafe worker that have potential of make the harm to people or damage to property. Controlling and keeping them out of access gate is the best strategy to reduce the likelihood having accidents. As part of safety role by security, they must know what are the hazards so that they could control them. The hazards further can be divided in 6 categories. Physical hazards, mechanical hazards, chemical hazards, biological hazards, ergonomics hazards, organizational hazards. The most common hazards may be getting entry through the gates, controlled by security. Examples are damaged machinery, poorly maintained vehicles, chemicals, electrical tools, untrained workers, loose clothing, ignition sources, hazard identification. Security will concern only few of them, and others will be taken care by safety department. Security may focus on some of the hazards coming into plant or premises. These hazards are damaged machinery, poorly maintained vehicles, chemicals, electrical tools, untrained workers, loose clothing, ignition sources, vehicle hazards. As a role player, under the existing procedure, security guard may have to do the safety inspection of the vehicles. Know about a procedure and there may be checklist to carry out inspection. Some companies may do the inspection under the work permit system if applicable. Vehicle hazards. Normal passenger vehicles, material delivery vehicles. Legal requirement to entry as registration and road permit, insurance, driver's license. Any damaged tire that may burst in the working area. Confirm with driver brakes are in good working conditions. Lights are working in, night shift, vehicle hazards. Working vehicles, heavy duty and mobile equipment. Legal requirement to entry as registration and road permit, insurance, driver's license. Reverse alarm is working. No leakage of oil, hydraulic oil or fuel caps is on the tank, vehicle hazards. Normal passenger vehicles, material delivery vehicles. Reverse alarm is working. No leakage of oil or fuel caps is on the tank. Spark arrestor is fixed, if required under the vehicle access control. Vehicle is authorized to enter, vehicle hazards. Working vehicles, heavy duty and mobile equipment. Some companies may give the task to check for vehicle entry permit for the vehicle. In this case, guards shall have internal training what to check in reference to the vehicle entry permit checklist, vehicle hazards. Working vehicles, heavy duty and mobile equipment. Vehicle is authorized to enter. Any damaged tire that may burst in the working area. Confirm with driver brakes are in good working conditions. Lights are working in, night shift. Lifting accessories certified, operator and equipment are certified for current period. These are the vehicles usually inspected under this category. Working vehicles, heavy duty and mobile equipment. Reverse alarm and horn are working properly. Spark arrestor is fixed, if required under the vehicle access control. Power tools. Power tools are a major hazard for the workers. The risk will increase if these are poorly maintained. Inspection of these tools before entering is subject to organizational policy. Power tools has two categories: electrical power tools driven by electrical power, pneumatic power tools driven by air power. Generally, it is more concerned to have inspection of electrical power tools. That may be inspection by the security personnel before entering into the workplace. After inspection, they shall put a sticker that will show that it has been inspected. Refer to company procedure. As some company, they have a mechanism to inspect all power tools and attach a tag on the tool that show it is safe to work. If this procedure is applicable, check about the recent tag signed by the authorized person. Most of the company has this system for power tools that runs on electrical power. There are some tools that are air or diesel operated. In such tools, it is needed to check that all tools are fixed with guards on moving parts. Power tools inspection. All electrical wires are fixed and not damaged. Electrical power tools carrying a tag that shows inspected and safe to work, signed by the competent person. Check guards are fixed on all power tool. Chemicals hazards. Chemicals having different type hazards, they are posing safety issues, health issues and physical problems such as fire or explosion. It is important to keep control on chemicals and other hazardous substances that are coming inside the work. Poor security increases risk, creates a poor safety. So safety and security are directly proportional. But both are inversely proportional to risk. Understanding the relationship between safety and security is key for the overall safety of the workplace, while checking the chemical substances on the gate. That it packed in safe packing. It has appropriate documentation and information. Check it has labeled properly and clearly. Hazardous classification signs and information. Material safety data sheet is accompanied. Call and confirm with the end users about the delivery. If it is for use of contractor, confirm from the host department that substance is needed, approved. If no label and information available, consider as hazardous substance and decline the entry. Chemical material safety data sheet is document that is mandatory to have with each chemical. This document shows that how to work safety with chemicals. What are hazards and what controls can be section. Each section explain about a specific item such as, name of chemicals, hazards, fire controls, exposure controls, handling, transportation, first aid measures, ecological information, physical properties, composition, identification, accidental release, stability and reactivity, disposal, regulatory information. Chemicals hazards classification. Chemicals are divided into 9 classes based on their hazards and then divided into subclasses based on the intensity of the risk they posed. This classification is done by the UNO and this is called UN Dangerous Goods Signs. These signs give the fair indication that what type of hazard it could present to the workers. If you find chemicals without proper documentation, do not allow to enter. Call to the relevant department who want to bring the substance inside and let them handle it safely. Chemicals are divided into 9 classes based on their hazards and then divided into subclasses based on the intensity of the risk they posed. This classification is done by the UNO and this is called UN Dangerous Goods Signs. These signs give the fair indication that what type of hazard it could present to the workers. If you find chemicals without proper documentation, do not allow to enter. Call to the relevant department who want to bring the substance inside and let them handle it safely.
If any chemicals are not identifiable, then call to the relevant department or HSE department to establish the identity of the chemical so that they could take care of it. Ensure that all the chemicals or substances coming inside the workplace have SDS. Without SDS, do not allow to enter the chemicals. Loose or damaged chemicals shall be reported to the safety department. Do not allow inside. Chemicals are divided into 9 classes based on their hazards and then divided into subclasses. This classification is done by the Organization of the United Nations. National Fire Protection Association has its own NFPA Diamond. There is another system called the Global Harmonized System and this system in use. Fire safety. It is a standard requirement that every security they do the security round, can be a great help for the safety of the workplace if they can observe the fire safety hazards while on security round. They can complement the safety inspection in their own way. This is very beneficial where safety is working only day shift. Security guards can integrate the fire safety inspection with security inspection. Fire starts with three elements: heat, fuel and oxygen. After starting a fire, there is a chain reaction that keeps the fire to continue. Fire needs to curb at its initial stage so that it could not spread. A fire extinguisher is the first aid equipment to control the fire. Try to apply the fire extinguisher to control the fire as soon as possible. Fire hazards. There are three main fire hazards: flammable materials such as petrol, diesel, solvents, solid materials, flammable gases, paper and wood, and clothes. Presence of oxidizing agent, oxygen cylinders. Atmospheric oxygen in the air is always present. Sources of heat or ignition such as damaged electrical equipment, sparks, cooking equipment, lighters, and matches.
They can look for fire hazards, such as flammable material somewhere in the workplace, report or remove the material to a safe place as applicable. Condition of housekeeping and materials that can become the supply of fuel in case of fire. Any heat-producing equipment or electrical connection is not present in the area if there is report for action. Electrical connection and wires are in a good place. No oxidizing chemicals or oxygen cylinders in the inspection area. No heat-producing equipment is on or left open after working hours. All exit signs are working, exits, and corridors are open and unobstructed. All extinguishers are in their designated place. If found any extinguisher not in place, report to safety department or take the action by yourself as applicable. Report any extinguisher is damaged or not pressurized. General safety inspection. As part of guards' daily routine, these types of observation can be noted and reported to the HSE or can be taken care by themselves. Any slip and trip hazard may come across during the security round. Any unobstructed passageway, walkway, exit routes that could jeopardize the safety of the worker. Any unattended start vehicles, equipment or forklifts on the way, any wrongly parked vehicle or equipment that could make safety issue. Fire warden duties. Sometime they are given the duty of fire warden. In that case they must be knowledgeable about their duties and they shall participate in fire drills and head counting. Check fire doors are not wedged or propped open. Ensure escape routes are free from obstructions. Ensure final exit doors are free from obstructions. Detectors. Smoke detectors are intended to protect people and property by generating an alarm earlier in the development of a fire. People need time to react, and every second is critical during an actual fire event. Heat detectors are intended to minimize property damage by reacting to the change in temperature caused by a fire, assist with fire risk assessments, assist with the development of evacuation and emergency plans. Ensure extinguishers are sited where they should be. Check fire alarms can be heard in the allocated area. Ensure call points are accessible. Ensure all means of escape signs are in place and lighting is working. Ensure outdoor areas are well lit and allow clear routes to the assembly point. Check arson risk areas. Check electrical equipment. He must be aware of evacuation plans, exit doors and assembly points. Be aware of fire detection and suppression equipment. Ensure outdoor areas are well lit and allow clear routes to the assembly point. Check arson risk areas. Check electrical equipment. He must be aware of evacuation plans, exit doors and assembly points. Be aware of fire detection and suppression equipment. He must know how to use fire extinguisher in case of need. He must ensure the safe, reverse, parking of vehicles, for the safe movement in case of emergency. If he is responsible, then he shall coordinate with regulatory authorities for inspections. He shall participate in fire drills. He shall carry out inspection of emergency equipment, exit routes and emergency exit doors as per checklist. All exit signs are in working condition, unobstructed and visible as needed. Radioactive material. It is common that many industrial sites are using radioactive materials, and that may enter the facility unchecked. Security shall have basic knowledge about the radioactive materials and its hazards. Most used radioactive material is gamma-ray source for industrial radiography. There may be some incident when source may enter uncontrolled and create big safety issue in the workplace. Radioactive material is controlled by the local and national authorities. Most common source is used for the radiography is gamma rays, which are the strongest among the radiation sources. Exposure to this radiation is very dangerous for the human. Normally the radioactive sources is housed in lead chamber to avoid leakage of the radiation. Lead box is then kept in strong steel box to avoid accidental damages. Box is pasted with the radiation danger signs to awareness of people. The transporting vehicle for this material also pasted with the hazard signs. Check operator has the license issued by the authorities to operate this equipment. All required hazard signs are present on the vehicle as well as on box contain the source. Box shall be under lock and key. Take the radiation meter and survey around the source box and ensure that radiation is not leaking. Ensure that host department is aware of the arrival of the equipment. Emergency response. Security may be given an important role in emergency response. They must play a role in emergency under the general emergency response procedure of the company. If security has been given a role in emergency, they must be trained under the internal procedure and roles. Following roles can be expected or assigned to the security personnel. May be part of the Emergency Incident Command Center. calling of outside help in case of need when internal response is insufficient. Security office could be assigned as first aid center and they can perform first aid. Role in evacuation of people and head counting. Coordination, receiving and stationing of outside emergency vehicles, ambulances, fire trucks. Guiding the emergency vehicles to location of emergency in case of need. Arrangement of transportation of injured personnel to medical centers or hospital. Arrangement of transportation in case of total off-site evacuation to a secondary safety place. Coordination with outside security forces, authorities if needed. Summary. Security and safety must work together for the optimum performance of health and safety. Security personnel can support to the safety in different ways. They can control lot of hazards from entering to the workplace and reduce the accidents. They can be the best supporter in the emergency. Security can help to control the fires in the workplace in different ways. They can control the safety induction of the new employees and contractors. Security personnel are the best fire wardens.